Hey guys, so I've been really enjoying these Playgrounds videos and didn't realise there was a third one until someone commented saying, hey, do the one where he's complaining about the Universe 6 Saiyans. I was like, what? Went back on his channel and lo and behold, I found it, DBG 3. Cool. I don't think there's another one after this. I can't find one on his channel. If there is, let me know or link it. But yeah, let's get into this. Universe 6 Saiyans and a narrative. Disillusion. Oh god, okay. So this is gonna have big deal with the whole how they become Super Saiyan and the tingly back thing. I thought it was fun. I really like the characters. But hey, let's see what Playground has to say on this.
To make another one of these fucking videos. These Dragon Ball videos are going to take over my life.
Oh no.
God, let this one be short. Not a Dragon Ball channel.
No.
I started writing this before 113 comes out because I know this is going to come up.
Right.
Hi, future Eli here. It totally comes up. Khalifa and Kale. Some of you love these two. Some of you hate them.
I like them.
Some of you
I didn't
don't know
love
who
them,
they are.
but I like
Some
them.
of you don't know who they are, but have beat one out to both of them all the same. These are fine outcomes. I understand all of them. The reason for this video has been going on for months now. But recently I saw Geekdom 101 on Twitter mention, referencing future spoilery events, that Khalifa may overtake Brienne as the most hated character in the tournament,
Right.
which would be quite an accomplishment. Why would you die?
Oh dear.
I then asked him to make a video discussing this, to which he pointed out he already had, with Rakarai, which I had seen. It is fine, of course. These young men did a fine job. They are good boys.
They're good boys?
One of them is. Yet I remain unsatisfied. It was at this moment that I realized I hated myself.
Oh no.
No, just kidding. I'm an artist. I realized that a long time ago. So I have to make this video. I have to. Because as you might know, I am partially responsible. Somewhere, I imagine, all those pictures of those same women I drew landed in Toriyama's lap. Somehow. And an assistant said something like, our dark work is incomplete. We must tap into this power from the West. And they drew porn together the whole night in their PJs. With crayons.
Right.
And then Khalifa was born.
Right.
We haven't seen our parents, don't you fucking question me. Point being, you're going to masturbate to this video whether or not either of us is happy about it. I'm never
I don't
happy.
think I'm going to. Okay.
Let me summarize. In Dragon Ball Super, Toriyama introduced the idea that there are 12 universes. One of them is our twin universe, and Saiyans are there because we can market them, so shut up. Except they're drawn in Toriyama's modern
marketing.
style. So their heads are all too big, they look like cancer patients, and their eyes look like compass needles.
God.
They also have no tails because Toriyama still has PTSD from cross hatching. What has everyone's panties in a wad are that they are transparently fan fetish fuel. Toriyama set the dial to Plague of Gripes, which is somewhere past 11, but before Shad. I am vividly aware of their intended role to my pants. This is why they were made. Me. It was me! The other component to the panties wadding in question is that the Saiyans were introduced having no knowledge of what Super Saiyan even was.
Yeah, they didn't have a clue.
Even if you don't know what Dragon Ball is, you probably know how ludicrous this is. Onto like 15 Super Saiyan forms these days. You likely marvel. You're French, by the way. That's how they talk.
Right.
Now, in the Tournament of Power, Goku discovered a new form called Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue 3, Kaioken times 20, Super Saiyan Ultra Instinct, Omen, Super Saiyan Honky.
It's just Ultra Instinct.
I'm not sure about that last part, but hey, Toriyama's a millionaire, not me. So obviously the idea of these new Saiyans running around in base form wet slapping everyone with their cancer noodles ain't looking too hot. Hell, when Kale got huge, people couldn't accept that it could tank an attack from Blue, much less this other shit. After all, Jiren's stronger than Time. Didn't you hear that? I heard that from somewhere.
All right.
So people hate Khalifa and Kale for this reason. They're shark golf bait. They're brand new, so they aren't proven characters. They're getting the spotlight, even over Kaba, who was introduced first. One of them got Super Saiyan 2 a few minutes after learning Super Saiyan existed, and didn't even know she had done it. The other one is a beefcake of legend who is stronger than nearly everyone in the tournament when she wants to be, despite being a living anime cliché. It's a middle finger to older characters that got left behind in power level. It's a middle finger to the whole concept that all the main characters spent years earning this shit, and it's a third impossible middle finger to anyone that doesn't like it. Don't use 3, she begged. But Toriyama-san did it anyways. Magic fingers, that man. Also bear in mind that most of this is happening in a tournament that is only 48 minutes long.
Yeah, it's not meant to be that
They
long.
technically found out about Super Saiyan a day or two before, but pulling off 3 decades of training in a few minutes obviously is going to upset some people.
Yeah, I can understand why people would be pissed off
with
with
Trunks
it.
doing the same thing, but Z is the flawless diamond, so we don't want to talk about that. Stop. Hammer time. Let's think about it. Think about Goku fighting Frieza to the point of near death, hitting him with his last resort, having it fail, and then watching one friend possibly die, and then his best friend be literally blown into a meat chunk cloud.
Yeah.
Krillin jerky. Goku was so consumed with anger and a desire for brutal, total vengeance and fury over his own inability that he broke as a person. He turned into something else, and was so furious and animalistic that he even threatened to kill his own son if he didn't leave him to let him murder Frieza.
Right, yeah.
He became superhuman. Saiyan.
Superhuman.
Now, think about Vegeta. Vegeta didn't do anything. He got Super Saiyan off panel. The anime made up some shit about him blowing up rocks, so it had
Well, he nearly died. It was desperation.
Gohan also transformed off screen, but the anime had lost its rock fetish by then, so it made up a somewhat acceptable scene of Gohan getting tired of being rescued by other people. Also, despite being uninjured and fully capable of helping his friends, he lamented being helpless to stop Cell from stomping a robot he didn't know, in a blatantly artificial sequence that only existed to try to create build-up where there otherwise would have been none.
Right.
So, there's that. And Trunks didn't get anything at all until the History of Trunks special, which was not penned as being canon exactly, but was still probably a close second or third. Also, Goten and Trunks kind of just have it because, fuck you, I told the editors I'd only do another arc if I could make clowns fight one another with seltzer bottles. So, we're doing it. Quite the emotional package, this Super Saiyajin. Point being, Super Saiyan has a long history of starting out as something very impressive narratively,
and
getting progressively more and more stupid, flaccid, and disappointing.
Right, I suppose, yeah.
This gets capped off recently with the Universe 6 Saiyans. Again, no one in Universe 6 supposedly knows what a Super Saiyan is.
Yeah.
Yet their base forms are as strong as Vegeta and Goku's base forms. Vegeta even mentions this while they fight.
Right.
They're also stated to have more latent potential due to their evolution. Kappa learns Super Saiyan from Vegeta, who makes a half-assed threat about blowing up Kappa's home planet.
He's like, I'll kill everyone you know.
Because he's angry that Kappa asked for help. So Kappa's slightly angry, and no Saiyan from Universe 6, I guess, has ever been angry in a fight before in the past 5,000 years. So Kappa learns the secret. Wow, what a story. For their universe's very first Super Saiyan, he got angry briefly in a silly tournament held by hungry kitties because a guy he just met wouldn't let him stop playing during a sports game.
Well,
the legend is born. Caulifla learns it from him by talking about back tingles.
Back tingles, yeah.
And Kale is momentarily jealous that Caulifla is talking to Kappa, so she turns into Broly. Alright.
That's basically it, yeah.
Most people leave it here. Back tingles, 100 attacks, aspal forms, Broly, etc. Time to shitpost on 4chan about it.
Let's bone and complain on the internet.
Most people view the series as a fan. Because they're fans, of course, nothing wrong with that. I'm slightly different because of the creative background and my personality. I'm not jerking off about that because, as you can probably tell, my personality also creates problems in enjoying things for being what they are, so it's not a good thing.
Right.
But I tend to think about Dragon Ball and other media in terms of what the writers and creative directors are probably thinking, not what's actually happening on screen, because those are very different things. So, why this video? This why. The hate towards these two is misdirected.
Oh, okay.
It is mostly frustration with how fast and loose the series is now being written. Or more specifically,
I agree with that.
It is frustration with the invalidation of the internal rules and logic of the universe.
It's like, come on, it's meant to be a big deal. I get that, it's meant to be a big deal, and then they get it straight away. Most characters in the tournament are as strong or stronger than most of the cast of Universe 7. And it's not even explained how they can be stronger, they just are. Which should sound strange, since every person in Universe 7 usually has a power level of 1,500 or below, other than less than about 20 people, across the entire universe. Universe 7 has survived multiple galactic or universal threats, killed a god of evil, and they all have lives that are completely immersed in constant warfare. All these characters are introduced being relatively as strong as everyone else, because they have to be. Yeah, if they're not, then what are they going to do?
Backstory. The need to be that strong. It's just there. So they are. This invalidation of prior events is present in almost every new character, because power scaling. See DBG number 2 for info on that little chestnut.
Oof.
It's simply more visible with other Saiyans, because they are Saiyans.
Yeah,
and the
I
show
guess
is
that's how you
obsessed with Saiyan
Saiyan,
transformations and power scaling.
Well, Power Saiyan 2.
It was long established that you need to grind for exactly one arc and go through a moment of emotional anime catharsis. Then you can buy the Super Saiyan perk from your skill tree. Cabo sort of does this in a few minutes. It isn't well established, and the idea that he met the power threshold for it a long time ago and just hasn't been angry until now is ridiculous. Then Khalifa's back tingles and she goes through no emotions whatsoever. She just sees Kaba doing it.
And then she's
he
like, yep, I
explained
can
the
do that.
sensation it
Bam.
creates, and she used that information to replicate it. This is actually something that doesn't translate too well overseas. It's transparently referencing the concept of ki points and how chakra or ki gathers in the body. So Westerners who aren't exposed to this notion very often may not pick up on it. They'll just Google some yoga pictures and get angry that the back isn't associated with anger and get even more upset about the explanation.
Right.
Plus, the whole sequence was not well explained. They didn't linger on it, probably because of time constraints. Plus the notion that all the fighters in Dragon Ball don't know what a key point is, and that Caulifla just sort of stumbled upon the basic idea behind it, might be the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But it would definitely explain why no character in Dragon Ball ever explains what the fuck they're doing beyond, I don't know, just do it, works for me. So again, the hate is misdirected. People are upset, not at the characters. They're upset at the characters reflecting that the way power escalation is being treated is now invalidating the principal method of storytelling that has existed in the series since the early 1990s.
I do agree.
But storytelling in Dragon Ball has always followed what people want. The sales for Dragon Ball were quite poor until it began focusing on the tournaments. It was originally more of a gag manga that paid homage to martial arts films. Then it became more of a brooding series about world-ending villains. This led to its identity as the Power Level show. Toriyama always wrote the series to be what he felt it needed to be. For example, the purpose of Kale being as strong as Blue is not to spit in your face. It's simply to be fan service to people that enjoy chewing the scenes of the first Broly movie.
Right, yeah.
I know that upsets people.
Definitely.
But in the mind of the writer, of course, Goku has to turn blue in this scene, or else the visual sequence is completely meaningless. That's what makes it cool. The main character tried one of his best attacks at max power,
and it didn't work.
His opponent just ignored it. You guys
that is
that.
Awesome, yeah.
The comment section told me so. That's what makes Dragon Ball appealing, remember? The appeal of Broly was the overpowering nature.
Yeah.
If Kale can't walk through a Kamehameha Super Saiyan Blue Goku, then the scene is pointless. She has to be that strong for that scene to work.
Well, yeah.
That's how writers think. They aren't writing out number charts or performing math calculations. They're writing scenes
boring.
and trying to avoid breaking immersion in the process. If the worst that happens is that people get angry at the character and not the writing staff, then they succeeded. Caulifla bursting through all the prior limits of the series is also because if you're going to have a main cast of another universe, they should be comparable to their sister universe.
Yeah.
Especially if you're trying to portray anyone in the Tournament of Power as being a contender other than two people.
Yeah, that'd be boring,
The story is going to require that the girls
We're going to have these strong guys, and everyone else is not allowed to get anywhere near as strong as they are.
As a result, they are being pushed to this level of strength because the story requires it. That's stupid, you say. Yes. Yes, it is. It never should have happened. It didn't need to. All of this, all of it, could have been solved instantly if the Universe 6 Saiyans already knew what Super Saiyan was.
Right.
If they were written that way.
I see.
Or had evolved to the point that transforming didn't even do anything. Somewhat like the ultimate form that Gohan never earned. Fuck you, Gohan. Point being, this problem of the U6 Saiyans not being strong enough for current events is a problem that Toriyama manufactured in the first place. One that narratively didn't need to exist. New universe, new Saiyans.
That's really interesting. Like, if they knew Super Saiyan already, then they could have learned to become stronger from the Universe 7. And then it would have made sense. Wow, yeah.
You can do anything.
It's what happens in the future. It's like, this is a good idea, but then it's like...
Toriyama-san, after moisturizing his hands after a busy day of giving out handjobs to the Saiyans, decided that this new universe of Saiyans were all worse off than our Saiyans. Here's what I think. It's not a smoking gun. It's multifaceted. Because writing is more art than science, obviously. One is that Toriyama loves the reaction gag. He has this sort of odd fetish for the trope of characters underestimating something that the audience already knows. Goku as a child is super strong, No one knows but us.
Yeah.
It's funny when he wins a fight with one finger and everyone's eyes bug out. That sort of thing. Caulifla even mentions before the tournament starts that the Universe 7 Saiyans are nothing to be worried about. This is just how Toriyama is. Secondly, Toriyama writes in the moment. He doesn't plan.
No, he doesn't
He
seem
doesn't
to plan
think too
ahead
much
at all, does he?
about the future beyond some loose ideas. So when he wrote the notes for the Hakaishin tournament that Toei and Toyotarou would later use when illustrating it, he was only thinking about that sequence of events. Not the Tournament of Power, not a future Sadala arc, now. Only now. As far as the writing goes, a lot of this tracks back to the first Kaba scene. More specifically, it tracks back to Tarble. Tarble is a fucking worthless piece of shit from the anniversary special. He only existed, probably, because Toriyama loves that underestimation gag we were talking about.
Yep.
All the characters already knew.
He's Vegeta's brother.
They
My
needed
God.
a
Whoa.
new comparatively weakling character to perform the reaction gag, and it was a callback special. Therefore, Toriyama killed two birds with one stone by creating Tarble. Now, we have a character that can react with shock to how children are stronger than Frieza, and it will be so very funny. That is why Tarble exists, I'm guessing. It's also why two random soldiers we have never seen before are stated to be as strong as Frieza, yet somehow they are also Frieza's underlings,
They're like part of his
despite
army,
being able to fuse into a character that logically would then be stronger than Frieza ever could have been while he was employing them.
Which makes no sense. But okay.
Toriyama doesn't think about these things. He wanted a strong man to do a bad thing, and for little baby children to beat him up, because that would be funny. And then the new guy can have his eyes bug out because, wow-wee, they're so strong. Much funny. Side note, I found it funny that people were demanding to know why they didn't bring Tarble to the Tournament of Power when both Ava and Kato survived the special and are well beyond Tarble's strength level.
Yeah.
And it's not like they're not willing to bring evil people. I mean, they brought Frieza. Yeah, no one was demanding to know where Ava and Kato were. Which actually is sort of part of the problem. People asked about Tarble simply because people like the idea of Vegeta having a brother. They don't like Tarble. No one likes Tarble. He's not even a character. He's not even a person.
Wow, Vegeta's got family members.
Idea. Tarble himself was so forgettable, and such a bad idea for the long-term health of the series, that while Super was replicating the Battle of Gods movie in Season 2, it went out of its way to not mention his existence at all, even as a gag. So Vegeta canonically, thank God, doesn't have a brother. It's that stupid movie canon shit. They said it in the movie, but not in the series. No Tarble. No younger
Movies
brother
don't
of
matter.
Vegeta.
Apart from Broly, apparently.
Years younger
the reason
than
why
Vegeta
anyway.
is.
Can't wait to see
Vegeta
it.
was taken from his father when he was about 8.
Go
and
and cinema see that
died a couple of years after
bad chisel.
that. Yet somehow
Meant
they
to be
know
awesome.
each other intimately. From when Tarble was, I guess, 2 years old, maybe? Yeah, it was a stupid idea that makes no sense whatsoever, if you think about it more than a few minutes. Then again, Vegeta is an expert in all things Saiyan, despite most of them dying off years before he even hit puberty.
Like, how would you know when there's no
anyway,
race to actually focus on?
Thank God, no Tarble. Yet. Anyway, people like the idea of Tarble. And I think Kaba is a Tarble do-over. Not only because they sort of look alike, but because Toriyama also probably liked the idea of Vegeta mentoring someone. And I do too. It is a good idea. Not being a brother, though. Just the senpai shit. That's a good role for him. Dumb little bitch. Always whining about being a prince and doesn't even give a shit if his own species dies off. So good for him. He's a good dumb boy. So why were the Universe 6 Saiyans introduced not knowing anything about Super Saiyan?
Yeah, why?
From a writer's standpoint. Because Vegeta had to teach Kaba something. And Toriyama didn't think ahead. Because he's Toriyama.
Well, couldn't it have
It's also
been
why
that he
Vegeta
taught him
states
Super
that
Saiyan
Kaba is
2,
as
and then he
strong
could have
as
passed that
is
on?
in
That would
his
have been
base
awesome.
state. It's the only way to
And this
try
guy's
to make
Super Saiyan, and
the
it's like,
universes
wow,
seem
I
comparable.
can go further. That'd be
It
cool.
also portrayed Kaba as being much weaker in strength and requiring the mentor scene with Vegeta.
And then he passes
Remember,
it on, and then they have
Saiyans
reason for the tournament.
cheat
That would have
like
worked so
hell.
much better.
Their
He's
whole planet
right.
has higher gravity. Their bodies get huge power boosts after getting their asses beat. They recover
Imagine
super
that, because
fast.
like, Super
their
Saiyan's like,
bodies
yeah,
can
I have to go Super
transform
Saiyan
in
too.
multiple ways
Alright,
and
but
so
then
on.
when Vegeta's
If they
fighting and he
didn't
goes
have
a
all
bit
that,
stronger, he'd be like,
and
whoa, you
they
can
still
actually go
love to fight,
further.
They'd just be weak little bitches that think they're hot shit all the time. Goku's attitude problem that he has wouldn't come across as being cute and endearing if he was constantly picking fights against gods, if he had a power level of like 10,000. he would just be a normal idiot. And everyone in the cast would hate him because he couldn't solve the problems that he keeps creating because he loves to fight. Consequently, even if Vegeta and Kaba, a professional soldier of fortune, are somewhat similar in strength and experience, because Vegeta's body can cheat, he can transform, he wins. That's how you do it. It's a neat little package for this one scene in one episode. But now, because the story has dictated that no one in Universe 6 has ever in their life seen or heard of a Super Saiyan,
They have no clue.
It has to abide by it. And that is why Caulifla and Kale are erupting up the ranks. Because once again, Toriyama didn't think ahead in a show about power levels. A lot of this could have been saved if there was an arc set on Sadala right before the tournament. But it had already been foreshadowed for a year, the tournament, so you just can't.
Yeah.
This is the right time for Goku's dumb story to move on, so you have to do it now. That's why they're going through the forms so quickly, because they have to. It's not like it's their fault, they're imaginary people. They do whatever the writer wants them to do. Heretofore, consequently, as a result, now it's up to the fans to rationalize what's happening on the screen. This is why I said I didn't want to actively mock the power scaling community in my prior video.
Yeah.
Because even though I see the show in terms of writing, what is presented as canon still has to be interpreted as being canon. So as fucking asinine as saying that a character is stronger than time is, it's like saying someone is stronger than the color blue. Like, what the fuck is that even supposed to mean? As stupid as it is, you still have to nod and say, yes, this is canon. These things are true because the writer is saying they are true. Even though they clearly cannot be true. Ever. That's why I don't blame anyone for trying to make sense of power levels or how characters talk faster than light by claiming shit like the characters create dimensional fields around themselves when they fight or whatever.
And the time's just consorted.
It makes no fucking goddamn sense.
Distorted between what's going on within them.
The actual answer is that the writer is a bit of an idiot that doesn't give a fuck and has been actively done with the series since he was working on Dragon Boy. That's the real answer.
Wow.
But it's up to poor Seth or Laughingstock or so on to come up with a fake one, because that's as good as it's going to get for us.
Seth's programmer and Laughingstock Media.
Let's lie. Let's gather around, children. Let's lie. Let's lie to ourselves for fun.
Okay.
My active imagination tells me this: the Universe 6 Saiyans are supposedly as strong as Gohan, Goku, and Vegeta in their base forms.
Right.
Even though they look like piles of shit, that's probably another source of problem. Don't fucking make them look like cancer patients. That's part of the problem. Anyways. The Saiyans from either universe have about the same power level in their base forms, but the Universe 6 Saiyans just are not as experienced. They don't have the transformations. Plus, Toriyama has said that power caps out. Back when he was writing the Buu Saga, he said this was as strong as he could see them get it. Back in the 90s, before the power of marketing was rediscovered.
Right.
That's what the ultimate form originally was, the lack of a requirement to transform, because all of your potential was already being accessed. He keeps liking this idea, but not really using it too much, other than stating that their bodies are kind of hitting their limits. But when it comes down to brass tacks, most of how the Saiyans keep improving has been new transformations. And we don't know what sort of horrible wars the other universes have been going through, so trying to rationalize why they can be that strong is not too big of a stretch. So, my extremely tired imagination says, yeah, okay, I'll do that. That's what my imagination says. Like, if you also told me that the fucking human characters were getting closer to the Saiyans' base power levels, too, now that they've capped out, I could probably believe it. The Saiyans are at level 80 in their dumb MMO world, and Krillin just grinded past level 73. Whatever.
Cool.
And in my mind, if Goku didn't know what Super Saiyan was either, right now, and he was as strong as he is now, and as experienced, but without the Super Saiyan bullshit. If you told me that, then I'd assume, yeah, of course. If he was shown Super Saiyan, then of course he might figure out Super Saiyan 2 and 3 in the span of a couple of days. Especially if someone showed them to him. Super Saiyan 1, 2, 3, grades 1 through 4, and so on. They're not even different forms, they're just the same fucking form.
Yeah.
With different amounts of power being accessed. So in my head, of course, someone with a power level as strong as Vegeta could hit Super Saiyan 2 accidentally in a few hours. Why wouldn't they? It's the same goddamn thing as 1, except stronger.
Except,
they weren't even named 1, 2, and 3 until well into the Buu Saga. It's only our dumb fan mentality that they need the grind XP that's in the way. If your body is like building a house, and Super Saiyan is like lighting a match to see in your house, then 2 would be like lighting a fireplace.
Yeah.
And 3 would be setting the whole fucking house on fire because, fuck it, this bubblegum needs to die.
Let's just, burn it.
If you rationalize it that way, it's not really a problem. So if you strip Goku and Vegeta of their knowledge of Super Saiyan, and then they had to relearn it, I imagine they'd figure it out again almost instantly. Especially with the power of lies and marketing. But again,
they'd have to.
This is not the issue. Rationalization is not the issue. Dragon Ball fans have accepted much stupider information and invented even stupider theories trying to explain it.
Wow.
The issue is that fans do not know these characters. They don't love and respect these characters, and they kind of look like shit sometimes. They're new, and they're skipping entire decades of progress in a few minutes. I understand this problem. If Toriyama had introduced Universe 6 as a universe in which all the Saiyans already knew Super Saiyan,
yeah, it keeps coming back. It would make
God
so
specifically.
much sense.
So
then they'd have something to aim for.
Still have that learning scene. Would the backlash be as bad? Probably not. But
no.
Who knows? But then we might not get scenes of Goku and Vegeta accepting new mentors in the middle of a fight.
No, but it could have been, like I said, like Super Saiyan, then this is Super Saiyan 2, where it's like, bam, and he's like, oh, so there's a level.
But there's no way around it.
And then he shows him God, and he's like, this.
But we also wouldn't have to endure all this happening in 48 fucking minutes. 48 minutes! To do what Goku did in 48 years. I get it. I do like Caulifla and Kale. And not just because they might be my illegitimate children. But they haven't seen 20 years of arcs of them training to learn new forms so they could defeat a space newt and an incest man. I spelled that one wrong. Oh well. No, wait, that's right. He is Incest Man. See? Anything is possible with the right attitude and mindset. The purpose of this arc, and Super in general, is to showcase everything that Dragon Ball and Z have invented over the years. Whether it's a million different forms, or fusion, or various techniques we haven't seen since Dragon Ball, the story will be written to showcase these things, no matter what that entails. Because Dragon Ball is a product. The tournament is a culmination of that product. And it exists to showcase not only that product, but create new products to sell along the way. That is its purpose. So, don't get mad at the girls. Get mad at power levels, and marketing, and Toriyama.
Marketing!
And a total, complete lack of foresight and planning in basic writing structure. These are the true villains of Dragon Ball, and always have been. So calm down. Japan doesn't even know what social justice warriors are yet. There's no conspiracy.
It's fine.
Just a single, dumb Japanese millionaire. And when it comes down to it, we're not watching Dragon Ball for its writing consistency.
No.
We're watching it to see the bad man ignore being punched in the face until Goku changes color.
It's true.
And then punches him in the face instead.
We're there for the fights.
And for the fan art. The illegal fan art. Caulifla and Kale give us both of these things and more to come. So, congratulations, my maybe daughters. My maybe wives. It's a confusing relationship. You pissed off the internet because the internet doesn't understand narrative disengagement or their own feelings. I understand my feelings. Now stop making me make these fucking Dragon Ball videos. And stop subscribing to my channel. I draw furry women, and you can't stop me. No one can stop me. Get the fuck out.
Damn. Damn, like, yeah, he's not wrong. Kept going back to the point. Valid point. If they knew what Super Saiyan was when they first met him, it would have made everything make a little bit more sense. And I have a problem with it. I love Dragon Ball. I love, like, the simplicity of it all. It seems to be like the community that makes everything more complex about it, and that's cool. Like, everyone trying to predict what would happen next in each video, I'd just be like, are you serious? You really think it's going to be that in-depth? But, yeah, he's not wrong. If they knew what Super Saiyan was, then, like I'm saying, didn't have to just go blue, and then, but if it just showed them Super Saiyan 2, and then that they had potential to grow, then when it comes to the tournament power, it might have been, would have made more sense, but Hey ho, yeah, a lot of people had problems. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. What do you guys think of that? Sorry, I'm not talking much. I really need to pee right now. That was half an hour video and I really need to go. Thank you guys very much for watching. What do you think of that? What do you think of this? Click like, subscribe if you haven't already. Leave comments down below. Let me know if you're watching to go to future videos. I'll see you guys. It's all you guys. There's Darth. Bye.